Welcome everyone to the Joining in Light group to look at desires below our level of awareness. And we're joined by Kathy. Yay, Kathy. Welcome everyone to the Joining in Light group to look at desires.
There we go.
Okay. We have our trusty guide here, Renee, to keep us on track. And we have mighty companions Laura, Kathleen, and Renee joining us today. So let's join in the light. And ask Jesus for clear guidance as to what's most useful for healing our mind and a service to the whole. And just a moment ago, I was hearing a clear message just to say something briefly about, you never know why some of this comes through, but two major gifts that Jesus has been giving us through Jesus, the New Covenant. And one is the power of joining. It breaks up this sense of separation and isolation. And we may want to, that may be the last thing we think we want to do, but it breaks down the barriers that we think are there between us and others, between us and God. And the second gift I was being reminded of, I was hearing within, was this gift of looking at desires for whatever shows up in our experience. Anything shows up that shows up as a desired experience. And for me here, this has been really tough sometimes. I'm like, no way, Jose, I did not want this. And as you might guess, here at the center, there's just bringing us back to focus on what is the desire below my level of awareness for this particular experience, whatever it is. So let's take a moment and ask within, is there any desire that's come into our awareness, perhaps just this afternoon, or that's maybe been something that's been coming to mind as a prompt from Jesus that we are to look at, that's come up for healing, for the healing of the mind and for service to the whole. Is anyone hearing anything in particular they want to bring to the light circle? Well, I'm hearing something. I keep hearing dark night of the soul. And we're all going to laugh here because this came up last Wednesday, I think. Kate and Jesus did a live session on dark night of the soul. And then we looked at that desire. And it was 2 weeks ago. It's 2 weeks ago. And I just had a huge resistance to looking at that desire. So Jesus, is this the desire you would like us to look at today and see what comes through? Or is there something else that someone else is hearing? You know, what we often do here is we'll just go around the circle. Is anybody hearing anything? And just by bringing it to our awareness, we may not look at that specific desire, but just by bringing it to the circle, bringing it to the light with all of us together, it seems to start to dissolve some of its intractability, one of our new favorite words around here, intractability. This desire is so entrenched, there is no way I'm ever letting go of it. That's intractability. I'm hearing the desire to just keep doing. Doing is salvation kind of thing? Yeah. Doing is salvation. Doing is my heaven. But doing just blocks any opportunity to sit with me. Anyone else hearing anything? Kathy, are you hearing? Hi, Martin, welcome. Okay, you're muted. Can you unmute yourself?
Okay.
There you go. Yay. So we've had two desires that have come into our awareness. One is a desire for dark night of the soul and looking at that more again. And the other is a desire to do, that somehow through doing, there's heaven in doing. And if anyone is hearing, Martin or Kathy, or anyone else here, Renee or Laura, if you're hearing anything in particular, let's just take a moment to check in with the light and see what we're hearing. I'm hearing there's another one. Kathy, is there anything you want to add? Any desire you want to look at?
Well, I'm not hearing anything yet, but I mean, the desire that's always forefront on my mind that I haven't really accessed yet is the desire below, the experience of sickness.
Okay.
But I'd rather just kind of listen and just see if I hear anything.
Okay. Yeah, we can, that's come into the light circle. So we can all just, check in with the light. It's brought to all our awareness. And we've all had enough experience now with joining that it's really very amazing. We'll start out with a particular desire, and then Jesus has all sorts of things come through that are relevant to the desire, but bring up aspects for healing that we wouldn't have thought of by ourselves. So Jesus, what desire would you have us look at for the healing of our mind and the service to the whole in this moment? I keep hearing, I've asked 3 times, I keep hearing the desire to see doing as salvation. This is something that is very relatable here. Let's look at the relishing of the desire for doing as salvation. The relishing of this desire. Jesus, show us how much we really want to find salvation in doing.
With this desire, there's been like an I got this energy.
Yeah.
I got this covered, I got this handled, or a feeling like I need to keep, or I need to hold it together. Or get a handle.
But it's I.
Those thoughts. Those thoughts coming up.
Yeah.
Relishing the more I do,
the better I feel. And then what?
You know, getting a hit happen.
Somehow in that there's a belief that I'm going to hit the pot at the end of the rainbow by doing. I'm finally going to get what I want, or, you know, the goal will be achieved, whatever that goal is. It's doing. I can do it. And I don't need God. Underneath all of that is that delicious little desire, that belief that, well, I can do this by myself. This is automatic. Oh, I don't need God's help on this. Da, 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 da. Relishing in the belief that I tame the inner beast if I just cover it all up with activities, constant moving. Not a lot of time for looking. All the time spent moving. Yeah, figuring things out, planning, what's next, making my to-do list.
It just reaffirms my identity as a separate self that makes decisions,
Yep,
you know, and
yep.
gives it reality.
Mm-hmm. And how much I relish that. Really look at how much I want
Need
this
it.
to work out. That I
What's the alternative?
yeah,
Extinction.
that doesn't stop me sometimes from doing.
Mm-mm.
How much we want to do, want.
It's like sometimes there's the sense that I'm doing something for others. And it's like I'm happy.
Mm-hmm.
Giving my time.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, the doing really makes me feel separate from God and from others. Like I'm an autonomous entity or something, and it's all up to me. So we're looking just at the wanting of that, because Jesus has given this gift where if we look at just the relishing, not the reliving or the to-do lists or experiencing anything around this, but just seeing how much we relish this particular desire. It gives me a false sense that I'm getting somewhere when I'm doing. I don't know where I'm getting, but I'm getting somewhere. Relishing the belief and the desire that all the perpetual doing is going to gain me a place in heaven. It's more like gaining a place in heaven. Yeah, I get so focused on the doing that I'm not in communication with God. I'm too busy making it all work.
You're no longer in touch with the being.
What's that?
You're no longer in touch with the being.
Yeah. Yeah.
You're just too busy doing.
Mm-hmm. Jesus, is there any willingness to see this differently? Is anyone hearing anything about the value we place on all of this? We are talking about the value we place on doing in place of God. Yeah. Feeling of safety in the world. Yeah, I was hearing that too. Doing provides me safety, protection. Mm-hmm. Personal identity. Hmm. Yeah, it seems like my whole personal identity is tied up in doing what I do, what I don't do. My value is in what I do, what I don't do. Jesus, can we go deeper on this? Do we need to go some more on this, to look at this more? I'm hearing yes. I'm hearing that all the doing is almost a way of keeping oneself in a very thick cocoon, a cocoon where light is not possible to penetrate. And there's such a comfort, sort of an inverted comfort, in staying in that doing cocoon. Don't have to open myself. Jesus, are we still finding heaven in this desire for doing? Mm-hmm. Avoid. Avoid looking. I'm going to let my mind go all over the place.
Yeah, that it's in the mind. So I could, my body could be completely at rest, or the emotion that the time doesn't.
Could you talk up a little bit?
Oh,
Renee?
no. Yeah, the body could be still at rest, or in action, but the doing is in the mind. So just going back to that decision in mind to avoid directly looking at it.
What?
the decision in mind to avoid looking directly.
Yeah.
And as you were saying that, I was also hearing that I can make anything a doing. I can make rest doing. You know, I can make meditation a doing. Believe me, I can do that. We get up at, well, 5:40 and then we meditate from 6 to 6:50. And sometimes that's a doing.
Feels like it's a deeper safety. You know, there's a real reluctance to believe being has safety in it.
Mm. Mhm.
Where will my contribution be? Value of it.
Now, as if my value is totally wrapped up in doing again.
Gotta get this done. Gotta get this done.
Mhm.
Then I'll be safe and happy.
And there's kind of, well, I don't know if it's the flip side, but another aspect of this not doing and thinking that's just that's not valuable. It's not valued not to do. I'm just slacking off, or what will people think when I'm not doing? And the relishing of all that.
The word efficiency, it's a sense that if I'm truly listening to him, the guidance that comes is very efficient. It doesn't require all of this activity that the ego mind thinks needs to occur.
Mhm. Jesus, as we look at this desire, are we hanging on to it? Is there some releasing going on? Are we seeing some spaciousness around us? Just as a place to look in the light.
He's having a look at, enlightened masters and their activities, and I don't see them racing around. They're very intentional. Certainly not doing everyone's dishes and all the laundry and all the things. Not that they don't participate.
It's not a doing.
Yeah, it's a flow. There's certainly no franticness to it, and no value on the identity attached to it.
Mm.
There's no if then. If I do this, then I'll be safe. There's a supreme confidence. Where do I really come from?
So Jesus, are we really relishing? Can we see the relishing? We can see the contrast, like you're talking about, Laura. And do we see the relishing of all this running amok on the face of the earth?
You think the celestial speed up has to do with going faster.
Multitasking. Multitasking to enlightenment. Something like that. Hearing that there is a strange self-satisfaction that is part of the relishing for all the incessant doership. There's a, look at me, look at everything I'm doing. And it's some aspect of pride connected to that. Yeah, he's also saying that we make this looking and asking for a miracle, we can make that into doing. There's something I need to do to get a miracle. And what he keeps saying to us over and over again is all we need is a little bit of willingness. Just a little bit of willingness. And even a reminder, you need to do nothing. It's one of the course lessons. So Jesus, are we ready to see this differently? Is there a little bit of willingness to be open to seeing this differently? I feel a willingness. I feel a willingness, yes. Sometimes when I say that, it's like, okay, that means I can never be unwilling again. Like it's got to be all or nothing. And I'm like,
That's part of the doing that desired experience where it clench.
mm-hmm.
We want that. I love things to get great pleasure out of that.
Mm. It can stop us in our tracks if we let that thought blossom out.
Watch it with me about that.
Have we gotten to the laughable place yet, Jesus? Where we can see that doing is not getting us what we want, and it's really kind of ludicrous. I'm hearing that it takes great trust to be in the moment and not do.
And just had a flash of like the spark through the doing. That part that relishes in doing. The ego loves that. It's the mind track.
Is anyone hearing anything from Jesus they want to share right now? So Jesus, are we willing to step into the trust and just go for it? Not knowing, no out picturing of what it's supposed to look like when doing stops.
Yeah, and I was hearing how it's like that desire for doing also like the loop keeps me distracted from not looking at the desire to feel like I did something wrong. I did something wrong, and I keep staying in like the doership to avoid looking at that. And I don't want to see that I have a desire to feel like I did something wrong.
Jesus, is there more to see here, or are we complete for now with this round?
I don't know if it's for now, but I hear that there's some relishing with the thought I did something wrong.
Mm. And that you can do something to correct it.
That seems to get to a deeper layer. And almost something irrevocable. I did something that is beyond forgiveness or irrevocable. So intractability, yeah, it is. It's intractable. Mm.
Relishing all the doership, because if I keep going, I'll get to my next favorite relish desire, the desire to be overwhelmed. Doership is always the first step before I hit that particular overwhelm button. The desire to push through rather than to stop and join.
Mm-hmm. Stop and join and look.
You got to get this done. This needs to happen before we can have peace and joy. Right.
There's so many symbols here at the center, K being the primary one of what's most important. And we have a lot of assignments and projects going on. And if someone walks into her room and says, I need to join, everything stops. Because it doesn't matter about what we get done. It's like, are we in guidance? Are we checking in? And if there's an upset or some sort of curiosity about what our mind is doing, then joining.
Misunderstandings about what guidance really is. Like I'm a helper. I'll tend to, do a lot more than is probably in guidance. And to really have clear discernment with him.
Because am I disempowering someone to have an experience that they asked to have? And I just come in and clean up and take it over. It's a misuse of power. And they're also innocent. Those kind of things come up. Your mind can be very hard on itself. So it's just like that's done in innocence. So to not beat ourselves up because then we're out of peace. It's like digging a double hole. Two graves. Yeah, a lot of doing seems to have to do with control.
Mhm.
Serving the power of God. Get things done.
Stay in control. Well, this is rich, rich stuff here. It's seeing how the mind works and really being willing to focus on it and see what it gets us. Because we think it works. So Jesus, are we complete for now? I'm hearing we're complete for now. There's more. It seems like there is always more. And yet sometimes it gets to the point where we're like, okay, enough for now. Come back to this later, or we've accepted a miracle. And then it's like something is shifted and turned around. It's become lighter. And it just gets lighter and lighter and lighter. So thank you all for joining us. Thank you to all the mighty companions here and in front of us. Thank you, Kathy. Thank you, Martin. And we'll see you soon. Bye-bye.